And therefore now the only thing that we have that can help us to get close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Teshuvah. So now the Rambam in chapter 2, he starts like this. Ezoi Teshuvah Gemura. Now what is considered a full Teshuvah? It's when something came in someone's hand and it's possible for him to do it again, right? And he refrained himself from doing the Avera. He refrained himself from doing the Avera because he did Teshuvah. It wasn't because he was scared, maybe the police is going to come, or maybe he wasn't as strong as before, he doesn't have the same kochot as before. So now let's take the perfect case. So you came in with a woman to do an avera, and after a certain amount of time, you want to yichud with her. And he still loves her, and he still has the same strength, and he's still in the same city, in the same place the same country where he did avera with her. So he had all the conditions, all the opportunities to go with this woman that he loves, and he wants to go with her, but he didn't do it. As if she was a married woman, so he knows he can't touch a finger. As if she was a goya, he knows he can't do anything with her unless she converts. So he didn't do the avera. So this, the Rambam says, this is Teshuvah Gemura, and this is like we're saying with the brothers of Yosef, that they did that Teshuvah Gemura, right? Because they were put in the same scenario. They were told, bring us the brother Binyamin, and then when they brought Binyamin, they put the goblet of Yosef inside Binyamin's bag, and then when they ripped it, they said, "Oh, it's Binyamin, so we're just going to take Binyamin with us, right? And then all of you can go back home, and we will give you everything. Just the one who's guilty has to stay with us. Is going to be in jail. He's going to be a slave." So what did Yehuda come and say? He said, "No, you take all of us as slaves. You can't take the boy, and if you take the boy, then you're going to be in trouble." That's why he went to him and he told him, "I know that you're the king, but don't mess with you. I'm Yehuda, right? Yosef Yehuda." So it's incredible. So we see that by doing this, what Yehuda did and fighting for his brother Binyamin, which was also his half brother, the son of Rachel, he went and made the tikkun, the teshuvah, because he brought it to the fact that if he was in the same scenario now with Yosef, he would not have sold Yosef. So now the same way that when he went and he sold Yosef, now was in the same scenario and said exactly. And this is Teshuvah Gemura. This is what Shlomo says. You have to remember your Creator in the times of your youth, right? When you're young, remember Hashem. Don't think you can do what you want. Remember HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that when there's difficulties and there's meaning that when there's temptations to do an avera, remember HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Right? But if now a person didn't do teshuvah unless when he was very old, or it's not possible for him to do what he used to do. Now, let's say when he was young, he was able to go every night, to different clubs and to go and eat out to different non-kosher restaurants and eating ham sandwiches. And now, all of a sudden, he's on a strict diet by the doctor. He's not able to eat anything. So now we're not going to say. So now he's not eating the non-kosher food because he does teshuvah. He's not eating it because he can't eat it anymore. Let's say, for example, he's on IV, has a problem digesting food. So now he's on with the same strength that he used to have. So let's see. Okay, so let's see what the Rambam says. So even when he was old, and he cannot do the same sin that he used to do, but he did. But even though it's not the best teshuvah, teshuvah meula molet hilo uval teshuvahu. He is still considered a bal teshuvah, and it works for him the teshuvah. So if he says, if he's going to ask for forgiveness to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and he's going to be sorry for it, then even if he's old, like we said, even the last day, he can do teshuvah. Even if he went through all his days and he did teshuvah the last day of his life, umet, and he died b'tshuvato with teshuvah in his hands, all his sins are forgiven. So it says until the suns go down and the light of the light goes down and the moon and the stars, and that the clouds return after the rain, and this is reference to Shul Yom HaMitah, right? So until that time, he can do teshuvah. but then after it becomes too late. Because also in Kohelet, those two verses are from Kohelet. Okay? So one comes after the other. So it says, remember Hashem, your creator, in the time of your youth, before the sun goes down. Why? Because when it goes down the sun, that's it. There's no more. When a person passes away, there's nothing you can do. But we have great news. Baruch Hashem, we're here in 5785, and we are now learning the Rambam together, Hilchot Teshuva. So this is a very good sign for us today. Let's continue. Halacha bet. It's good? Any questions? Good. Halacha bet. Uma hiya teshuva hu sheyazov achotei chito v'yisiru mimachshavato. What is teshuva? It's when the when the sinner will stop from his sin, and he will remove it from his thoughts. And he will take on himself to not do the avira again. Because it's written in Yeshayahu that the wicked will abandon his ways. And also he has to regret what he did. Because it says, after I return, after I did Teshuvah, I regret it. Oh, how could I have done this against Hashem? How could I have done this Avera? And Hashem will testify on this Jew, on this man. He will testify, this man will never go back to this Avera. Because it says that we will no longer say that the work of our hands is our God. Right? Because what happened? What is Avodah Zarah also? It's not only that you worship JCPenney. The Avodah Zarah is, let's say now you go to work and you think, oh, if I don't go to work on Shabbat, then that's it, my life is over. If I don't do so you think that really your whole salvation comes because you go to work, and this is why you have money. If you're gonna have that, you're gonna be dead on the street, then you're already inside in that type of Avodah Zarah. That you think there's another. So like it says here in Hosea, it says that we will not say that our hands are our gods. Right? I work, I do. What do you want? What should I give you? What should I help you? So I did it, that's it. And so they think that the hands is what makes everything, but it's not. Like we said, again, the Rambam emphasizes that a person has to verbalize the words, and he has to be very clear about the matters and about what he said he will accomplish in his heart. Anyone who will go on and make vidui, he will make a confession, but really in his heart he didn't say, I'm going to stop with that sin. This looks like a tovel. He goes to the mikveh v'sheretz beyado, and he has a rat in his hand. He goes inside the mikveh. It's not going to work because you still have something impure in your hands. Right? The tevilah, to make him pure, only work when he puts out the shiretz. And also it says the person who's going to be modeh, right, is going to recognize what he did, and will stop them. He will get mercy from Hashem. And also we learn from Moshe Rabbeinu. Is it too fast or it's good? So, Bon Nachman?
It's okay, yeah.
You see where I am?
Yeah.
So even when Moshe Rabbeinu was asking forgiveness from Israel to Hashem, he was saying, he says, I appeal to you, Hashem, that the nation did a terrible sin, and they made a golden calf, right? So he verbalized what was the sin. It's not, oh, please forgive them. Or he actually said it. And we learn also from there, from Shavim, that this is why we have to go and say it. It's good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the path of repentance is for someone to always cry out to Hashem with crying and entreating. And he does tzedakah according to his ability. And he separates himself very far from the object or the things that made him sin. And he changes his name to say, I'm someone else. I'm not the one who did all these averot. And he changes his actions, all for the good, and in a positive way. וגולה ממקומו שגלות מחפרת עוון מפני שגורמת לו להיכנע ולהיות עניו ושפל רוח. Right, and then it's interesting. This other thing that the Rambam advises for the people to do is that a person should go in galut, should go in exile, because the exile makes it that the person will be atoned for his sins. Because whenever someone goes somewhere else, no one knows him. Now let's say he was in Montreal, he's a big Gavir, someone important, everyone knows him. And he goes to Honolulu, and there no one knows him, so he has to restart fresh, and everything is more difficult, and it's difficult to make new friends, to make to meet people, to be established in the synagogue, and therefore this way will make someone more humble and shfal ruach. Will be more like a lowly person to go and give him the proper humility. Halacha he. V'shvar gadol lashav she'yitvadeh barabim, and it's very praiseworthy for someone to repent in public. ברבים ויודיע שפשעיו להם, and to go and reveal the sins that he did, ומגלה עבירות, and to reveal the sins שבינו לבין חברו, that he did between him and his friends, לאחרים, to tell other people, once I went there, I wrote him a horrible review, I gave him a 1-star review, and because of that, I called it, I don't know if you do tshuva for that, you call the inspector on someone. So,
but I have a question, because the last chapter we learned to not publicize
you see, I was waiting.
Between God and
You see, see, as the Rambam, but the Rambam, he comes with ammunitions, right? He has the Iron Dome ready. So now the answer, very good. But you see, it's good. Both of you guys picked it up. Good job. So I was waiting for the question. So you have to reveal the sins. He says, since I sinned against that person, what did I do to him? He says, I sinned against him, and I did this and this to him. I lied to him. I stole from him. I beat him up when I was young. Whatever the case. And today I do teshuvah, and I'm mitnachem, and I regret what I did.
Shav v'nicham.
Shav v'nicham, c'est ça?
Shav v'nicham.
C'est la même chose. ניחם זה la même chose. בכל המתגאה ואינו מודיע אלא מכסה פשעיו ואין תשובתו גמורה. And anyone who's going to be bal gava, he's not going to inform the people of his sins. It's called מכסה פשעיו, and he hides his sins, like he didn't do anything. It's not going to be a complete teshuvah. שנאמר מכסה פשעיו לא יצליח. Someone who covers his sins will not succeed. Now we have an even bigger question now, right?
Yeah,
now
you have to.
Right, so now we have a big problem. What happened? Yedidia, why did you say the opposite yesterday? What's happening here? So let's see. So when do we say that? When those are sins between you and your friends, you and other Jewish people. But for עבירות that are between you and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you don't have to publicize it. And not only you don't have to publicize it, if you publicize it, it's azut panim. It's like arrogance. Hilo im gilam. If you want and you publicize it, then it's something that's like arrogance. Ela shav lifnei האל ברוך הוא ופורט חטאיו לפניו ולבדל להם לפני רבים סתם. So what does he do? He has to do teshuvah to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ufurayt, and he has to say, he has to make the general confession. Lifanav, hadav lifanav, ugadal lem lifnei rabim stam. So let's say now we do the vidui, for example, in mincha, in shahid. So this is just general. Ashamnu, bagadnu, gazalnu. We do the whole vidui. This is just general, so everyone does. So this you can do in public. But now for the personal one with, I don't know, someone chazusham, I don't know, if by example, he did an avera, he ate something not kasher, things like that. So he goes, and if let's say he did a lot of sins before, so you can go and specify for each type of sin and make it a big confession, and then he takes on himself not to do it. But he does this in private. And it's good that he did not reveal his sins. Right? Someone goes, he made a tattoo, and the tattoo is on his arm, so no one can see his tattoo, for example. And now it has nothing to do with anyone else. Right? It's between him and Hashem. People don't have to know. There's also something else. So here, what does the Rambam answer with here? Because it says, happy is he whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered, right? So now you have those two verses. When it comes to other people, let's say you hurt someone, So you should inform. Let's say you talk bad about someone, now he wasn't able to get married, or you talk bad about someone, and because of you, he didn't get the job, or different things. So now you're able to go and face it in public. I was wrong about him. I said lies about him. Or I owe this guy money. Or really, he makes the best sushi in town. It's just I wanted to make him competition, right? Different things like that. And then this you publicize it, but the opposite you don't. Halacha vav. Even though repentance and calling out is good, right? It's always good. Yafa la'olam. The 10 days that is between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, this is the best time. And the teshuvah is taken right away, right? Because it's written, seek Hashem in the place where you can find Him, right? In the time when you can find Him. So when can you find Hashem? Is during those days. Of course, all year you can find Hashem, but these are special days that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us, a special days of teshuvah. Because like we know on Yom Kippur that HaKadosh Baruch Hu accepted
open doors.
Exactly, and exactly direct. And not only that, it says that the HaKadosh Baruch Hu on Yom Kippur, He forgave the Jewish people for the Chet HaEgel, and He gave us the second tablet, the second Luchot, right? So when do we say that? ביחיד. אבל ציבור כל הזמן שעושים תשובה וצועקים בלב שלם, הם נענין שנאמר, כשם אלוהינו בכל קוראינו אליו. Right? But this is only when you're praying in private, right? At home, praying by yourself. So during those 10 days, right away get accepted even when you're at home by yourself. But if you're betzibur, right? You go to a kehillah, you pray in a minyan. This here we see the importance of praying with a minyan. שעושים תשובה וצועקים בלב שלם, and the whole tzibur, they cry out to Hashem, and they do teshuvah with a full heart. Em na'anin, they get answered. Shenemach k'Hashem elenu bechol koreinu elav, right? Because it's written, Hashem is with us wherever we call Him, right? And He's going to listen to us. And therefore, this is what we see that when we're in a community, when we're in a kehillah, we're praying, then our prayers get answered right away. Halacha zayin. Yom HaKippurim hu zman teshuvah lakol. Leyahid v'larabim. So Yom Kippurim is teshuvah for everybody, for the individual and for the community. V'uketz mehila u'sicha liYisrael. And this is the highest level of mehila and silicha for the Jewish people. Leficha chayavim hakol לעשות teshuvah ולבדות ביום הכיפורים. Therefore, everyone is obligated to do teshuvah and to do vidui on Yom Kippur. ובמצוות וידוי יום הכיפורים, שיתחיל מערב היום קודם שיאכל. And the mitzvah Yom Kippur is to start to say right before Yom Kippur, before you eat, you have to do vidui. So at mincha, right? That's the minhag here, is that you do mincha earlier, and then you go home, you eat, right? And it says so on mincha you do vidui, right? And this is the minhag that we do on Yom Kippur, on the mincha before Yom Kippur, and it says why the Rambam shema yechanek b'seudah kodem sheitvadeh, because we're scared maybe the person will go and choke. There's a few reasons I saw. Why will the person choke if he does if he waits? So but one reason I heard is that the person's gonna be so scared. What if now it's his whole life? Imagine now someone's going to court, his whole life is on the line. This is exactly it. Young people, your whole life is on the line. If you're gonna get married, if you're gonna have money, what's gonna happen, if a person's gonna get sick, if he's gonna live, if he's gonna die.
You wanna laugh? One Yom Kippur, we did the chicken of the and we did it for me. The chicken died on the spot.
Yeah,
we did it. The second I was done, boom, dead. It really took on my sins.
So you're happy that day.
Yeah.
Hazak. Very good. So let's continue. So even if you went and did vidui, right? Also maybe you can have in a spiritual way, right? Why before? Because maybe his time was until before Yom Kippur. He wasn't given last Yom Kippur a chance to go to the next Yom Kippur. So even though a person went and did vidui before he ate, he has to continue and do another vidui on Yom Kippur, on the night of Yom Kippur. Arvit. And he goes back and does it in shachit. Musaf and on Musaf. Mincha and during Mincha. Ne'ilah and during Ne'ilah. And where does he have to do vidui? Where does he do vidui in the tefillah? So if he prays alone, an individual actually in the Amidah we say it after our tefillah, and the shliach tzibur be'emtzat tefilato b'bracha revi'it. The shliach tzibur will do it in the middle of the beracha in the middle of the fourth bracha when he's going to do the when he's going to repeat the Amidah. Okay. Halacha. Ok, halacha chet. On est bon, je te dis.
Non, Zayn, you skipped it. No, I mean you skipped it.
Non, on vient de faire
Oh,
zayn.
no.
Halacha chet.
Never mind.
Avidui shinagu b'kol Israel. Or the vidui that the all of Israel went and took on themselves is like that. That's how we say. Aval anachnu chatanu kulanu ve'u ikar avidui. For we all have sinned. This is the ikar of the vidui. עבירות שהתוודע עליהן ביום הכיפורים, זה חוזר ומתוודע עליהן ביום הכיפורים אחר. אף על פי שעומד בתשובתו שנאמר. The Rambam says something very interesting. Even for עבירות that you asked for forgiveness last year, this year you also have to ask for forgiveness. Why? כי פשעי אני אדע וחטאתי נגדי תמיד. Because like it says in Tehillim, that I acknowledge my transgressions and my sins are always before me. Right? That a person also I was learning something very interesting. Is that what does a person have to do tshuva even for sins that he did tshuva last year? That really, in a way, is that since he became, let's say, he went to a higher level. So for him now, he does an even bigger amount of teshuvah because he understands
So deeper teshuvah.
a deeper teshuvah of why his sins were. I also saw somewhere else that a person might that's not always good. Like if let's say it's going to make him always remember, let's say averot, bad thoughts or different things like that. And Rav Chemis was speaking about this, that it's not always good to repeat them every year, right?
No.
So, but in general, it's good because if it's going to be a deeper
repeat them?
teshuvah, no, not to repeat averot, but to repeat the bidui.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that, let's say it might be give someone thoughts or things like that. So you did teshuvah one time, and you don't have to every year repeat it. But it seems from the Rambam, the simple pshat is that
From deeper understanding, you do a deeper vidui.
right. הלכה ט' אין התשובה וליום הכיפורים מכפרים אלא על עבירות שבין אדם למקום. Now the teshuvah only forgives you, and Yom Kippur only forgives you for sins that are between you and Hashem. For example, someone who ate something not kasher, or Baal Beila Surah, or he went and he had relations with a forbidden woman. אבל עבירות שבין אדם לחברו, but עבירות that are between a man and a woman. No, a
Can
man.
you explain the first part?
Yeah, so the teshuvah in Yom Kippur, they only work between sins that you did between you and Hashem. Right, but now sins that you did against someone, you cannot ask Hashem to forgive you. Why? Now we say, for example, someone ate something not kasher, someone who went and you had relations with a forbidden woman, right? So this is between you and Hashem. So you ask forgiveness to Hashem. But the sins that are between you and your friend, you go on a chovel et chavero. For example, if you beat up your friend, or you punched him, or you cursed your friend, you cursed him out, or goes though you stole from your friend, and anything similar, he will never be forgiven until he gives back to his friend what he took or what he did to him, and he asks his friend forgiveness. So even though he took money from him, even though he gave him back the money, he has to go and appease him and tell him, I'm very sorry, and until this friend will forgive him. So you have to seek, and that's why usually before Yom Kippur, there's a lot of people, they try to go look, they ask Khatima Tova, they say sorry and everything, right? And like I said, we said it yesterday, right? The Lubavitcher Rebbe, what the Rabbi Lubavitch said, we said it yesterday. That really that a Jew is someone who came to the Lubavitcher Rebbe, very beautiful. He said, I don't understand. You Jews, you Chabad, you guys are fakers. Why? He said, you all year, you do what you want, or whatever. You don't do what you want, but all year you act a certain way. And now Yom Kippur, Elul comes, all of a sudden, the shofar every day, you do slichot, and then you have the Asara Yemit Tshuva.
Ziyid who said this?
Yeah, he said this to the Rebbe, the Rebbe. Okay. So he tells them, I don't understand. And then all year, and then you show up Yom Kippur, you pray all day, and you do everything all day. I don't understand. What is it? Why can't you be like this all year? Why can't you be forgiving people all year? So he said, so you guys are actors. You put on a mask on Yom Kippur, you want to get forgiveness from Hashem, and then throughout the year, it's who you are. So the Lubavitcher Rebbe, that's what did he answer? He said, you don't understand, my friend. This is not how it goes. Is in reality is the Jews of Yom Kippur, those are the real Jews. This is who those Jews are really. They really want to be. This is who they are. This is who they are. And throughout the year, this is the mask that they put on. But on Yom Kippur, when they know there's HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and they know everything, and they have the spiritual high level, and they want to be close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so this is who you are. So 364 days, that's not who you are. Because really every Jew wants to be close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is how he answered him. And this is very true. So then we continue. לא רצה חברו למחול לו מביא לו שורה של שלושה. אפילו לא ינקיט את חברו אלא בדברים צריך לפייסו ולפגוע בו עד שימחול לו. Now, even if you only said things to your friend, like let's say you embarrassed him, you told him things that he didn't like, you have to go and appease him. And you have to go and run after him till he forgives you. לא רצה חברו למחול לו. Now, let's say your friend does not want to forgive you. מביא לו שורה של שלושה בני אדם. So you have to bring him a row of three people. Like not a row, but like you have to send him three people to him. So now this is very interesting how you do teshuvah with someone, how you ask forgiveness for someone. Let's say now you have a mutual. Let's say you have a friend. Now you have mutual friends, but you got into a fight with this friend. Let's say you were in a fight with David, right? So now you have three mutual friends. So you ask your three mutual friends to go see him. It's not only that you ask him, "Oh, Mechila, I'm sorry. Oh, you have to forgive me." And it doesn't work like that. It's really that you have to ask three friends that are mutual, that know him, that go to him and say, I spoke with Nachman, and Nachman is very sorry for what he did to you. Or I spoke with Moshe, and Moshe is really sorry. And then this is how they go, and they bring him to forgive him.
You have to go with.
But there's three friends. You send three friends or three
Why do
people
you
that
have
know
to
him.
send 3 friends?
No, it's not. No, unless you know, because if that's it, he doesn't forgive you right away.
Oh.
If he doesn't
you know
forgive you
he's
right
really
away, then you
angry,
can send in
yeah.
people. If not,
It's like Yaakov Avinu sent to Esau, no?
oh, he sent him the gift. He sent him
He
many
sent
rows
to
of gifts.
many people, but he sent people, right? Malachim, like messengers.
Right. So, yeah, exactly. No, it's
I don't
good.
know.
No, it's right. So it's also a way to ask, to make sure that that they're good. Okay. So here, לא רצה חברו למחול לו מביא לו שורה של שלושה בני אדם ורב ופוגעים בו ומבקשים לו. לא אז עדיין מביא לו שנייה או שישית. And now if he doesn't do it, it's very interesting. Now you have to send another set of 3 friends and then another set of 3 friends.
3 times.
So 3 times. לא רצה מניחו. Now if let's say he doesn't want to forgive you after you did all those things, מניחו, so you don't have to ask him forgiveness anymore. והולך לו וזה שלא מחל הוא החוטא. And the person who did not forgive, he's a sinner now. Because you went and you did what you needed. But a lot of people, they think you just ask forgiveness 3 times and then it works. No, it's that really try. And also if you 9
people basically.
Yeah, 9 people, but it's also those 9 people is that now let's say you call the person's father, you call the person's mother. And then it's more listen, Moshe, you have to forgive David. He's really embarrassed with what he did to you. It's not the same thing as if you just go, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It shows that the person means it much more. And then if he did not forgive him after the 3rd time, then this guy is the sinner. And it's not the one who was seeking forgiveness. And if it was his teacher that he went and he embarrassed or he hurt, even 1,000 times he has to go to his rabbi. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So his rabbi, we see that exactly, because also like about Shamayim.
Yeah.
Halacha Yud, אסור לאדם להיות אכזרי ולא יתפייס אלא יהיה נוח לסוד וקשה לכעוס. It's forbidden for someone to be אכזרי, to be cruel, and not to forgive people. אלא יהיה נוח לרצות. This is what the Gemara, what is a tzaddik? It has to be very easy to appease, וקשה לכעוס, and very hard to get angry. Once you l'embête, tu le cries, tu fais truc, he's never angry. And then if he's angry, in 2 minutes he gets over it. This is a tzaddik. And when the sinner is going to ask him for forgiveness, he should forgive him with a complete heart and with nefesh chafetza, with a willing spirit. And even if he sinned against him a lot and did a lot of bad things to him, you don't have the right to go, and you should not take any revenge or grudge against him. So even and this is the way of the Zera Yisrael, and this is the proper way of the Jews. This is how the Jews behave. But the Ovdei Kochavim, right, idol worshippers, that the heart is not circumcised, meaning enan kol ele, right? Like, so exactly, the goyim in general, enan kol ela be'brato shemara netzach. They do not act like in this manner. What do? They have hate forever. It stays forever. And where do I have a proof from this? וכן הוא אומר על הגבעונים, לפי שלא מחלו ונתפסו והגבעונים לא מבני ישראל המה. Right? It speaks about the Givonim. The Givonim did not go and forgive Shaul, right, for what happened with them, and everyone asked, and they went and they killed 7 of the grandchildren or 7 descendants of Shaul because of what Shaul did with them. And since we see that even after many times we begged them to forgive, and they did not forgive, so we see that this is the way of the Goyim. But we know that the Jews, we have 3 things, right? Baishanim, Rahmanim, and Gomli Hasadim. We're Baishanim, that we have shame, right? We're not I do what I want, I take off my clothes. Shame. And then Rahmanim is we have pity on people. We see someone in the street doesn't have money, we're going to give him. We see an orphan, we see a sick person, it hurts us. We're going to say Tinim. And Gomli Hasadim. Gomli Hasadim is whenever we see there's an opportunity to do Hesed, we're going to do it, right? We have Tomche Shabbos, we have Refuah Hesed, we have Atzala, we have Shomrim, Chaverim, everything you can think of, Baruch Hashem, we have. So all this because of Gomli Hasadim. Also Gemach, we have Gemach for all types of things. For weddings, for dresses.
Yeah.
You know, Gemach is you know what it is, Gemach, no? Gemach is basically people that give stuff for free, and anyone who needs it, they can just take it for free and then they just return it. So there's a Gemach for anything, wedding dresses, you have suits, you have hats, you have the tables, you have chairs, all over the place. But here, even in Kotzaluk, you have. So we see, and this together is Gever. So what is a Gever? Is those 3 things: Gomli Chasadim, Baishanim, and Rahmanim. You want to be a Gever? That's what you do. Okay, Yud Aleph. Now, if a person sins against another Jew, right, and before he was able to ask him for mechila, right, the guy died. He has to bring 10 people to his kever, and he has to go by his grave, and he has to say in front of them, I have sinned against the God of Israel, so I have sinned against Hashem and against that person. It's very important that when we do an avera against someone, we have to understand we're sinning against HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Like I was saying, if you do a mitzvah, let's say of Kibud Avayim, so when you do Kibud Avayim, it has to be a mitzvah of because Hashem asked you, and of course for the good thing. And then also on the other side, when you do an avera, you have to understand that it's against Hashem and against the person. So then you have to go to the grave. You have to ask forgiveness. And if you owe them money, you have to give it to the Yorshim, right? To the kids or grandkids. And if he does not know any who are the kids or grandkids who are going to inherit from him, then he just leaves the money at the Bedin and he makes the confession. Right? It's very interesting because there once was a story with Rabbi Victor Miller on that. We're going to finish with this. Rabbi Victor Miller once said it happened that there was a rabbi that wanted to allow women to go to the mikveh with tap water. And he wanted and he said this with tap water instead of being rainwater. He said tap water is enough. So he said Rabbi Miller about this rabbi. He said this rabbi is a rasha. But then he was, even though he did not agree with him with his what he was saying, but he said if he felt bad, he called him a rasha. So he called him back. He said, "Can you please forgive me?" The guy said no. He said he tried, to ask him forgiveness many times. It didn't work. And he said he actually did that. That this Rav went and he passed away. And he went and he said he hired 10 people. He went with them and he paid everything. And they went and they asked forgiveness in the grave, right?
Really?
Exactly. So,
but the Psak Din was wrong, right?
But yeah, the Psak Din was wrong. But then even when the Psak Din is wrong, it's also sometimes exactly even it can be wrong. But sometimes even your approach, it can be that you're right when what you're saying. But sometimes even your approach that you can hurt someone. Even then, he was careful. So, B'ezrat Hashem, that we should be zocheh to be more careful with the things that we do, and